Hello there, and welcome to another ERAÞΜUS episode.
The amazing podcast that combines the two most amazing things, Athens and Erasmus.
On the microphones, Nikos Dionysatos.
And Iasonas Kolyvas.
And today, it's the time for France. It's
Ho ho ho.
ho ho ho. It's like, it's the wee baguette moment that we have the French episode. I know that a lot of you don't want to be French, but
There is a famous song.
there is a famous song after all. But yeah, it's time for France.
So please introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello, I'm Raja. I'm French, originally from Lebanon, and I'm glad to be here. And everyone wants to be French, they're just jealous.
He's a true Frenchman, though. You see, like it's, France comes first, then everyone else. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so tell us about yourself a bit. What do you study? Where are you from in France and in Lebanon
Yeah,
also?
so I'm originally from Beirut in Lebanon, but I'm studying and living in Strasbourg. I'm studying political science, and here too in Athens.
Okay. And how did you choose to come to Greece for your Erasmus?
Yeah,
And
well,
specifically Padio.
Yeah, I actually passionate about philosophy, so I wanted to choose a country with a deep historical and philosophical background. So I was hesitating between China and Greece, and the thing is, China is very expensive and very far, and and very not free. So I chose
And also
Greece.
not part of Erasmus.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still we have partnerships. But I chose
okay.
Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Independent
Interesting.
partnerships. And
Yeah.
stuff,
Okay.
probably. So, how do you like the city so far? Like, does it look like Beirut?
There are some similarities with Beirut, but it's really a mix between, because it's a European cities, but it still has like some Eastern Oriental sides. So it's really a mix. It's beautiful.
So we combine Strasbourg and Beirut together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
amazing.
And we are kind of halfway through. Huh?
Yeah, a bridge.
This is what we sell the Europeans. Yeah,
Yes. We're bridge.
We're bridge. Yeah.
Every country says that, by the way. Okay, so, like, to be more specific, what have you observed in Athens that reminds you of, for example, Beirut?
For example, the road and the architecture is very similar to Beirut and to the Middle Eastern countries, but I found out that the people are very similar too. Like, first, their form, their looks are very similar to Lebanese people, and also their way of thinking, their way of acting. The Greeks are very chill people. They are very friendly, and it's very similar to the Lebanese people, I think.
Okay, like the temperamento. It's the Mediterranean
Yeah,
temperamento, I think.
So, would you say that the buildings are similar? Because, okay, we don't have... We think that this architecture is just us here in Greece, but is it like more widespread?
Yeah, most neighborhoods are similar to Lebanon, but it's actually like Beirut with monuments and sites and historical things added to it. It's the main neighborhoods are similar, but if you go to the center of Athens, if you go to the ancient places, to the touristic sites, they're really a good addition to it.
Okay.
Okay.
And in comparison to France and to Strasbourg, I would
Yeah.
assume that it's significantly different, especially Strasbourg, which is, I think it has like a significant amount of medieval buildings and stuff,
Yeah,
traditional.
exactly. It's much more different to Strasbourg, and Strasbourg itself is a mixed city between French and Germanic influences. But I think Athens is quite different from these European cities. But it still has some similarities. For example, the transportation system is quite similar to European countries. The tram, the metro, etc., that we don't have in Lebanon, for example, is quite similar to Strasbourg or Paris.
Okay, so someone finally appreciates
Yeah.
public transport in Athens.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
feeling at home. But okay, so I mean, regarding the people and the culture, friendships and everything, like how do relationships in Greece compare with like both France and Lebanon as well? Because let's
Yeah.
focus like more on the people.
The people I think here are well. I hung out a lot with Erasmus people, but also a bit with Greeks. And the Greeks I think are very like humane, but also of course friendly and frank. They're very frank. I found out that they try not to like say something to please the other. I know that for example English people or Americans often do this. They say things just to please the other while not really thinking it. But the Greeks do not do that, and I think it's really a good advantage. They're really honest.
Yeah, and I think maybe very opinionated
Yeah.
we are as a people. Okay, interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Also, when you have met Greek people, have you ever spoken in French with them? Because many people learn French at school. We have to learn a second foreign language, and we have to either choose between German or French. So, supposedly,
Supposedly we're literally Strasbourg, French and
yes,
German.
yes,
Like,
but I don't know how much that actually happens. So yeah, has anyone spoken in French with you?
Yeah, actually, in many museums, I saw that, like for example, the people working there asked where I'm from. I told them that I'm French. Many of them actually spoke to me, or at least tried to speak with me in French, and it was actually very pleasing. Or even people in shops, or in touristic shops, they tried to speak with me a bit in French. So yeah, I appreciated that.
Okay, so you mean like the museum guards and stuff?
Yeah,
Oh,
people who give the tickets.
we have
amazing! I
yeah,
didn't
like-
expect that.
yeah, we have culture, civilization.
Yes.
Yeah. So, apart from Athens, have you been to any other places around, like islands or any other
Yeah.
areas?
I've been to Salamina, to Chalkida, to Mycenae, and Thessaloniki, of course. And yeah, I really loved each of them. Of course, the historical cities mainly. For example, I think in the trip to Thessaloniki, we went to Vergina, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Vergina, I think
Vergina.
was amazing. Really, the historical part of it was really great.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Vergina is like a small town in Macedonia where we have found the tombs of the ancient Macedonian kings.
Yeah, mainly Philip, father of Alexander the Great, but also like other members of the royal family there.
And it's very cool. It's far from Athens, but if you go to Thessaloniki, it's not that far.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
must.
That's
I
why
think.
we do the ESN trips and we take them to Thessaloniki.
Exactly. Okay, so did you like the city or the countryside more? Or like the smaller cities? How do they compare the countryside and the city in Greece?
Well, it depends. Thessaloniki and Athens were really different than other cities I've been to, because they really have a density of historical and cultural sites that are really amazing, and I really appreciate the historical part and the philosophical background that there is here. But also when you go to little towns, for example, I did a bit of research on ancient Greek cities that are now just like little towns, and it's really interesting to go there and just see what remains of these places. So it can also be interesting to go to the countryside.
Mhm.
Okay. So regarding also like the ancient monuments and more recent monuments as well, like Byzantine stuff. I mean, you're a Maronite, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lebanese Catholic. How is it like, the religiosity of Greeks compared to, like the Greek Orthodox in the Middle East or the Maronites?
And also compared to France,
And compared
which
to,
has
which
a
is extremely secular.
completely
Yeah.
different relationship with religion. Yeah.
Well, I haven't been enough time in Greece to know how Greek people practice their religion, but I think it's a bit of a middle way between Lebanon and France, because in France, people like, apart from old people, there are basically no young people going still to church. It's very, very rare. Some might say, unfortunately, like the faith isn't practiced anymore, and people don't go to church anymore. It's quite sad sometimes to go to church and just see no one in there apart from old people, to see that you might be the only one under 50, for example. It can be sad. In Lebanon, it's the opposite. The young people are usually more are going to church more than older people, which is quite strange to see. And in Greece, I think it's quite the middle. There are young people who go and older. I don't know.
I think that in Lebanon is like it's the sectarian problem that like people have become more
too.
attached to their identity. So, but I mean, in also in France, it was also religion was never your thing.
Yeah, true.
Like let's be real, like you invented laicite, like it's
it hasn't been for a few hundred years. Before, France was called the daughter of the church, so it was still a kind of important thing. But with the Renaissance and the Lumière and everything, Enlightenment, so it changed.
Yeah.
So still, I think that the situation in Greece looks a lot more like France than Lebanon. Although it's true that we do go to church sometimes, even the young people, for specific occasions, like marriages or baptisms, of course, or maybe during Easter, but very rarely outside of that. But at the same time, Greeks don't call themselves atheists.
Or agnostic.
Yeah, so I think like in France they have accepted it, whereas here not so much.
Also, it's the institutional problem. Like in Greece, we don't have a separation of church and state, so it's very different than like secularism in France. Okay.
Yeah, we have a cross.
We have
on
a
the
cross
flag.
on the flag. Yeah, like
So, yeah. All right. So back to more day-to-day things. How easy was it to find a house here? And also, was it expensive, affordable? And what about back in France?
Well, in Athens, I don't know if I'm the perfect example because I procrastinate a lot, so I waited till the last moment to find an apartment. I was very lucky because I had a person from my family from Lebanon who has an apartment here, so I am renting it for quite cheap, to be honest. So I don't know if it's if it's really representative of all people, but I think the price of housing here is quite similar to Strasbourg. It's a lot less expensive than Paris, for example. Paris is a very expensive city, so the prices there are awful. But I think it can be similar to Strasbourg, especially if you're living with other people. Collocation, like
cohabitation.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I've seen on the internet like the average Paris apartment, and it's like a bed, a sink, and the toilet that you share with another 10 people who also have a bed and a sink. Yeah.
Okay. The dream. It's a dream.
Yeah,
it's a dream. Now, I think that apart from the cost of living and the housing, it's time to go to food.
Oh.
French food first, because it's the French episode, of course. Lebanese food as well, and how does it compare with our magnificent food here in Greece?
Well, I'm gonna upset a lot of people here because we're talking about French, Lebanese, and Greek food, three gastronomies who are usually cited as some of the best in the world. My honest and objective opinion is that French food is just the best in the world. It has a diversity that no other country has.
Better than also
Better
Lebanese?
than Italy, than Lebanese food. Because Lebanon also is just a tiny country. So it's Levantine food, but France is just so big, so diverse. Its region and everything. There is a diversity in food that there is not in Lebanon or in other countries. But Greek food is really great in some aspects, especially. For example, in Strasbourg, the one of the main dishes is choucroute, so sauerkraut with some pork, with some sausages and everything. The thing is, this is a very heavy meal. You can't eat it like once a week. That's a big problem. In Greece, maybe the souvlaki or the gyros, you can actually eat it like pretty regularly. It's a food that's accessible, that's cheap to make and so it's really great to be able to eat your traditional food like very often.
Yeah. To be honest, we don't really we don't make it at our own house. We buy
Yeah.
souvlaki. But okay, still, don't you think that some of the more extreme parts of the French cuisine are like a bit, I don't know. I've seen French chefs who take like some kind of I don't know, a bird, and they put it inside the stomach of a pig, and they put like weird sauces and stuff, and I don't know, and
They're sweet.
they sew parts of animals together and they make weird stuff like Frankenstein.
And-
Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
But like, I mean,
What are they doing?
France in a way is also like similar to Lebanon because it combines a lot of different things. Like it's in the middle of Europe, so you have Celtic cuisine, like from Gaul. You have Romance influences. You have Germanic influences. Like the whole history of France is reflected in food. So
The thing is, French food, French gastronomy is usually like misunderstood because a lot of people see, for example, the classic things, snails, frogs, or even there's a dish that's sheep's balls that are cooked. But
we do it here as well. Like,
Yeah, everything
really?
that you just said, we also do it in Greece.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but a lot of people make fun of these things. But actually, the thing is, people in France are born with this type of cuisine, and it's when you're born with it, when you've experienced it all your life, it's not that weird to experience, and it's actually pretty good. For example, the sheep's balls, it can be weird at first, but as a taste, it's really, really good. I recommend for anyone.
Interesting recommendation. Okay, so also to add another question because we talked about like the cuisine now. How do you feel Frenchness? Like you grew up in Lebanon,
Yeah.
but you live in France. You are a French citizen.
Yeah.
And how do you experience Frenchness? Like it's a very deep question, but
Yeah, well, people, of course, everyone experiences it differently. It depends on, of course, your political opinion. In my case, I love for example, the literature, the philosophy that France has. It has it has had a big role in, for example, political philosophy with many writers like Rousseau who have like influenced the whole of Europe, or others main political figures that like Napoleon, like De Gaulle, all these people that have influenced France and Europe more generally. I think like they still have a print in today's French culture and in my heart. I feel French because I identify myself with all these great people in history.
All right. And also, there is an old relationship between France and the Christian community of Lebanon, right?
Yeah.
So do you maybe view it in a way?
Yeah.
cultural
Is a-
continuation. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, because the Catholic community and the Christian communities in Lebanon are usually more favorable to France than other communities in the region, because they have like an old history with France. The Maronites were protected while they were under the Ottoman Empire. They were still protected by France and helped by France. There is an old paper that is actually a myth, but people talk about it a lot. It's Saint Louis, King of France, Louis the Ninth, who has written something like a letter to the Maronites saying the Maronites community are a part of the nation of France. It turned out that this letter was actually forged. It wasn't a real letter, but it still has an influence in the national romance and story of Lebanon, and especially the Catholic community.
Yeah. So could you also talk to us a bit more about the Christians in Lebanon, and how is it to live in a society where you have Islam and Christianity together at the same time, and I've seen like that there are churches in Beirut, and a few steps away there is a mosque, and there are people from so different backgrounds and stuff. How is it?
It's
society-wise?
Yeah, it's quite a weird. I think it's quite a weird system. I think the only country in the world that can be similar to this is Bosnia, who still has like these three communities. it creates a lot of tensions, especially politically, because different groups may have different ideas for the future of Lebanon and different wishes with different interests and different alliances. The Christians can be usually more favorable to France, while the Shias are more favorable to Iran. So it can be difficult to build a government, and it has led to wars. So yeah, we have 18 religious communities in Lebanon. It's very difficult to make a consensus in this country, but we try.
Yeah. In France, I think that, of course, you have like diversity there as well with, like in the 21st century, but I think that you have a stronger core.
Yeah.
Like France has a stronger core because like in Lebanon, everything is decentralized. Geography also helps, so...
Yeah, in France, the system, like the nation has built itself to be quite unified, to be kind of homogeneous. We still have like little communities. The Alsatians have their language, the Britons too, the Basque too, but they still like their identity is as much French as it is Basque or Britain or something. So they have built with like Republican education a sense of identity to France that makes it quite homogeneous. Now there's the new phenomena of migration that's still something that countries struggle with, but they're working on it.
Yeah, France will make it.
I think France is like the first centralized modern country, right?
Yeah, that's why we copied, like we and Romanians copied France, when we were building our nation. So
the constitution also, at least like in the beginning of Greece, was influenced by France. All right.
Yeah, but to like move towards the final parts of the podcast, we have the two final questions. One is to make it a bit lighter. How do you compare the universities, like back in Strasbourg and here in Athens? How do you compare university life and the buildings, like the facilities and everything?
The university, I feel like in Athens, or at least in Pantheon University, professors are really here to help you learn. Like I actually felt that the professors wanted to help and not just do their thing, teach, and then students just do their thing. And I felt like that teachers were actually trying to help, trying to make us understand the lesson and not just eat the information and just write it back in the paper. So it's quite pleasing. In Strasbourg, I felt less this. I felt that some professors might just want to give us the lesson and just leave. But it can be different between universities. But the student life is quite good. I wish there had been more clubs, for example, in Pantheon. I think that's something that the university can work on. But like you already have a student ERAÞMUS organization, and you have Pantheon MUN, which is really good, really fun. So yeah, it's good.
All right, interesting. And also, would you consider moving here, maybe in the future if a job opportunity appeared?
I think if I were to move to Greece, it would be for my retirement. Like I find out that Athens is really a chill city, and to be in a city that you can like read that. For example, this philosopher was here, this thinker, these great events were here. I think it's something that's really rich culturally, and I think for retirement I might come. It's really it might be a good idea.
Okay.
But make sure to be healthy when you're retired, because if you have like difficulties with movement or walking and stuff, Athens isn't a very friendly city for these people.
Also, let's hope that Greece will survive until then.
Also that's, that's an important issue.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was it. I mean, we had a lot of it. I think it was a very deep episode. And
also we kind of explored two countries actually.
Two in one.
Not just one.
You're gonna see it in the title as well. Like I'm gonna put France plus Lebanon probably. But that was it. It was a bit longer, but okay, come on. Like we did two in one.
Yeah.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, share it to everyone, and post it on social media. Send it to your friends.
Send it to your French.
To your French, of course, if they speak English. Like that's a realistic problem as well that we didn't mention.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
yeah,
true.
I'm sure in the French diaspora in Athens, yeah, you know, you see that most French just prefer to speak French.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. We didn't even need to mention it. Like it was so obvious, you know. With Spaniards, we scolded them. Now we didn't even scold them.
Yeah, some things are common knowledge.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
All
you for inviting me out. Actually,
Yeah, we thank you as well for coming. Two in one again. So that was it. And see you very, very soon with the next episodes of our series. See you around, guys.
So bye from us and in
goodbye.
French.
In French
Au revoir.
and also in Arabic.
Allah معكم.
Two in one.
Fair. 2 in 1.
Yeah, like I love that we did it with like Germany and with France as well. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.